What's up guys, my name is Daniel and I'm here with another video, another tutorial, and this is lesson 7, strings and character variables. Okay, so in this video we're going to be going through two more data types, which are strings, and the others are variables, and we're just going to go over how we can actually use these right in programs. And yeah, okay, so it's basically this chapter if you're going through a study guide, but if you're not, you don't have to. You can just watch my tutorials and I'll teach you any and everything that you need to know to pass your exams or to just get good at C++. Okay, so we're gonna start by declaring a string. First things first, you need to insert this include statement, include string, just like how I typed it here. Okay, and now we're gonna declare a string. Okay, so by the way, don't mind these glasses. These are actual prescription glasses. It's just that I don't like using them for recording videos. I like you guys to see my eyes. But anyway, how we declare a string is that just like how you declare any other variable, you'll just say string and the name of the string. So in this case, we're just gonna say s. S is the name of the string. S is the variable name. Okay, so let's get input from the user and then display it on the screen. Okay, so let's just say cout, enter your name, okay, and then I'm going to say end line, and then I'm going to get the input from the user, cin s, and then I'm going to display the outputs to the computer. Okay, so cout your name, sorry about that, I'm going to say your name is and then I'm gonna say s, and then I'm gonna end it with end line, and then I'm gonna run your program, run my program. You also run yours, and then there we go. It says enter your name. I'm gonna type Daniel, and I'm gonna press enter, and then there we go. Your name is Daniel, just as we expected, right? It's just a string, just like you would with any other number. So now let me explain to you something. Really, with strings, you say you wanted to ask the user to enter their name and surname. Enter your name and surname. Okay, so you would expect that a string will take it'll be a long format. Okay, actually, before I continue with this, let me just comment this out. I just want to show you something. So with strings, you can also declare things like string, and then you'll say maybe s2 is the name of the string. You can say this is my sentence. Okay, and then I'll say okay, this is my sentence. That's stored in s2, and we can display this cout s2 and end line. Let me run this. Let's see if we actually get the contents of s2, and just like you expected, this is my sentence. So a string is not limited to one word. You can have sentences because it's a string. It's just a combination of characters, right? So you can have as long of a string as you want in C++. So of course you can declare as many strings as you want. So, but I'm just, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to get rid of this. Now you know exactly how strings work. I'm going to go back to my example and uncomment these lines over here. Okay, so now if we say enter your name and surname, and then we take in cin, which is s, and then we output that. Let's try and run this. Okay, let's see. So let's type in my name and surname, Daniel Jumpman, right? Let's press enter. Guess what we get? We only get my name is Daniel. Why is that so? Because cin only doesn't go beyond a space bar. So if you insert the character space bar and then you type something else, cin will only work till that space bar. So that's why we only got Daniel in this case. So how can we bypass this, and how can we actually make it work? So we enter something called getLine. Okay, so let's just get rid of this. So we want to use something called getLine. This is a function by C++. Okay, so how do we use getLine? So getLine is basically, instead of using cin, we use getLine. So you would say getLine, right? and it takes in a few parameters. It takes in your cin, and then it also takes in the name of the variable, and then the last value is optional, which can be to tell it to go to the next line, right? So I'll say cin, and then I'll also give it the name of the variable, which is s, and then I'll just pass in /n there just to get it to go to the next line, right? So I'll press run here. So enter your name and surname. Okay, before I run this, I actually need to output it. Cout, let's say your name and surname is, and then I'm gonna say s and line. Okay, so we just want to output the name and the surname here. Okay, so let's run this, and then we get, okay, enter your name and surname, Daniel Jumpman, enter. So there we go, your name is Daniel Jumpman. So what you learn from this is that cin won't go past that space bar or space character. It will only give you, it will only store within cin everything up till a space bar, or until an enter, or until any other character. But normal characters, it will store them in that one particular string. So to bypass that, you use getLine. Okay, so so let me show you something. There's something where you cannot use getLine after cin. Yes, so let's just comment this out for now. Just want to show you some example. So let's just say we wanted to ask the user to enter their name. Let's say enter your name and surname, and say the person's surname is a long surname, maybe DePaul, for instance, maybe something like DePaul, right? So what you would want to do here is that you would say, okay, cout, okay, I'm not going to type this in again, I'm going to just take this, cout, I'm going to say enter your name. Let's just say we want them to enter their name first, and then we use say in, and then let's just say, let's give these variables, let's pass in string, maybe first name, maybe string last name, right? Okay, so enter your name, right? So we're gonna say first name, and then cout, enter your last name. Okay, let's cin, no, enter your surname. We don't want to use cin because, like we mentioned here, if the word is long enough and it's also has spaces in between, then you don't want to use cin, because cin will only give you de instead of DePaul, because it'll only get these two characters, right? So you should know that. Just explained it. Now what we want to use, like I said, is the getLine function. So we're going to use getLine. I'm going to paste it here. So then it's, remember, cin, and then the second parameter will be the last name, okay, because that's the variable that we want to get this value to go into, right? The cin want the user to insert that value into last name. Okay, so now let's output this. Okay, let's get the cout statement. I'm gonna paste it here, and we're gonna say, hey, listen, your name and surname is first name, and I'm just gonna give a space, and I'm gonna say last name. Okay, hopefully you guys can see. Don't know if you guys can actually see there. Okay, so this is our program. Okay, so let's see if this actually runs. Sorry about that. Okay, yeah, let's run this and test it. When we run, everything works, right? So it says starts with enter your name. Okay, so I'm gonna say Daniel, enter, and then look at what happened there. I just inserted Daniel, and then it ran enter your last name, but it didn't even give us an opportunity to insert our last name. It just skipped over that and went straight to outputting. So what exactly happened here? So cin first name, and then cout your last name is, and then when it got to get line, it just skipped past that line, and then it went over to executing everything else, if possible. If not, then it just went straight to finalizing the program. So basically what happens is that I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty of exactly what actually happens, because I don't want this to be a long video. If you're interested, you can read more about it, but really I'm just going to give you the solution here, right? So what you want to do is that, like I said, you cannot use getLine after the cin statement. However, you can bypass this by using something called cin.get. Okay, so we can go here and say cin.get, right? And that's your solution. Let's run this again and let's see what happens. So what's your name? So I'm gonna say Daniel, and then what is your last name? And I'm gonna say Paul, and then enter, and then there we go. It says your name and surname is Daniel Paul. So the first part of this this whole sentence is that Daniel is the first name there, and then Paul is the last name, and both are strings. It's just that we got Daniel using cin, and we got Paul using getLine. Basically that's it. So that's it from strings, really. That's it from strings, and you can manipulate strings however way. We're not going to get into the nitty-gritty of actually string manipulation and different operations. This is just an introductory video for beginners, okay? So but what we want to do now is we want to do chars. These are characters, okay? So I'm just going to separate all of this stuff, and I'm going to comment out all this stuff so that it doesn't disturb us when we're doing our characters. Now I'm going to declare, think of this as a new program, okay? So characters, we define strings, right? String, my string, this is a string. But then what is a character? Basically a character, if a string is something like hello, right? A character will be each and every single individual character inside of the string. The H is a character, the E is a character, the L is a character. So basically this is a character, and this is a character, for instance, you know what I mean? So basically you can think of it as a character, a string is a collection of characters all put together to formulate one string. So I can keep going on and on, etc. So that's basically what a character is. It's just one out of the entire puzzle, so out of the entire string. So how you declare a character is that you go, sorry about that, you go char, char, and then whatever the name of the character is. And you'll realize most of the time in programming languages they use the letter C to define a character. So just like that, char C, but like I said, you can name it anything. This is also a character if you want, or if you will, okay? Or name, or whatever, doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm just gonna stick with char, which is C, and then I'm gonna declare character, okay? So actually, let's just get the user to insert a character and see what happens, okay? So I'm gonna say cout, enter a character, and then we're gonna say cin C, and we're gonna output it cout, your char is C, like that. Let's run this. Enter a character. Let's go with A. Enter. Then there we go. You see, you get your char is A. So it's very simple. Let's make another example. I'm going to run the program again. Enter a character. I'm going to enter Daniel, for instance. Enter. And then look, it says your character is D. Basically what happens is that it eradicates everything else, and it just takes in the first character that you type. I'm pretty sure even if you enter numbers, I'm not sure about this, I haven't tested it out. 1, 2, A. Oh, okay, I see. Yes, 1 is also a character, by the way. Although it's a number, but it's evaluated as a character. Because, for example, if you were to say insert a password or insert a username, and a user inserts something like Daniel 2, right? Remember, each and every single one of these letters are characters, including the 2 itself, and this is also a string, right, since it's all put into one place. Anyway, so remember, characters will always be one character, right? Will always be one letter or one number. You get what I'm trying to say? So I want to do some form of manipulation with the character. Let's introduce a variable called next, right? Char next character. Okay, so next character, let's just say next character, we want to increment it. Okay, so see, in the user inserts, see the character, let's say they insert A, and then I'm going to say next character is equals to C plus 1, right? And then instead of outputting the C, which would be A, I wanna output next character. Okay, and I'm gonna run this, and it says enter a character. I'm gonna insert A, and then I'm gonna say enter. Now look at that, your char is B. So instead of it being A, your next character is B. So you can increment these characters. So obviously, if I were to add 25 to A, then I would expect to get Z. Is it Y or Z? Let's just do that. So C plus 25, I think it'll be Z, since, yeah, so let's say A, enter, and then there we go, your character is Z. The reason this is like this is because there are 26 letters in the alphabet, so you just made an arithmetic calculation, 26 plus 1, which is 25 plus 1, which is 26, and if you add 26 to A, it will increment all the way to the last character, which is Z. So this is just very basic demonstration of characters and strings. You can think of it as enter your name, enter your surname, enter your username, enter your password or your email address, and based off of that you can do a lot of manipulations like that. Yes, so if you look at what is expected of you guys in your study guide, you realize that we actually kind of solved that example over here in the first example. So if you guys went through this and you understand this part of the code, then you basically understand the basics of strings, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.